welcome to Business Growth School for Service Providers podcast. I'm your host Ali Salman, and this podcast is brought to you by Rapid Boost Marketing, online marketing for service providers. Are you a dentist, realtor, lawyer, accountant? Do you provide services locally? Then this podcast is for you. Here we share strategies, tricks, and techniques on how to generate more leads and sales using online marketing. Join us every day for 5 minutes and take away strategies which you can apply in your business. Your marketing just doesn't need to give a reason to buy your products or services. Your marketing actually need to give a reason to your customers to buy your product or services now. The word now makes a big difference. How many times you walked down the grocery aisle and you basically figured and you looked at all these products and you said, you know what, maybe later. Half of us do that. Like half of the time we look at a product, we basically say, yeah, I want that, but maybe later. But guess what, you're walking down a grocery aisle, you see a product, it says limited quantities, just for sale for next 2 days, that's it, gone, and it will be gone off the shelves. There is a chance that rather than you walking by and saying maybe later, you actually stop by and pick up that product. Because scarcity and exclusivity works really well in marketing. Let's take an example of this brand, and I'm sure most of you haven't heard about it. It's called Supreme. It's evaluated at $1 billion. Yes, evaluated at $1 billion. Just 11 stores worldwide. But before I go into talk about that, let's watch this video.
People are obsessed with Supreme, but why? I mean, it's just a logo, right? The streetwear brand has a borderline cult following. The company only has 11 brick-and-mortar stores worldwide, but the brand is valued at $1 billion. So what's the secret to Supreme's success? The answer is scarcity, but not in the traditional sense. Instead of using scarcity to raise prices, it uses scarcity to increase hype. And it's worked.
Now that's crazy, right? Think about $1 billion company, 11 stores worldwide. I am sure most of you who are watching this video haven't even heard about Supreme, right? But it's the big sensation out there. And the whole brand is built on hype, which is basically driven by scarcity and exclusivity, because they basically produce very limited quantities of whatever they are producing, right? Like if they're producing hoodies, if they're producing t-shirts, right? Okay. It's takes example of those Air Jordan and Nike days where people used to line up outside their stores, but because they used to just take out just limited quantities of sneakers and people used to line up for that. Crazy thing about Supreme is there are websites out there who are reselling Supreme stuff, right? Guess what? If the hoodie costs $300 on the Supreme direct store, it's actually reselling it for $1,600, $1,800. The whole idea behind scarcity and exclusivity. No one else have it. They're limited quantities, and that's why people basically run after that brand, right? Let's take another example. This study was done by Stephen Watzel, and what he found out that he basically kept the two same jars he took, and he basically put cookies in them. What he just did in one jar, he had 10 cookies, in the other one he had 3 cookies, and he asked people that just select which jar would you take cookies from. Most of the people selected the jar with less cookies. Why? They perceive that if something is in a high demand, that the value of that product has to be higher, the product has to be good. Now let's take another example of all these OTAs, online travel agencies, Expedias of the world, Booking.coms of the world, and you go on their website and you're gonna find 3 rooms remaining at that price. Lock in this room at this price, right? Today's say limited quantities. All of these trigger words are put into strategically to create scarcity and exclusivity. Like maybe they have a really an amazing room with a front end balcony, and there's just two of them remaining, and you need balcony, right? So resorts do that all the time, right? They basically say, hey, we have this front facing balcony, right? Okay, and they just one of that in the resort, right? Would you like to upgrade that too? And that's the whole principle of scarcity and exclusivity, because you are the only one who has that, right? Okay, and also scarcity and exclusivity is tied up with basically our status, right? Okay, we as humans are very basically status conscious, right? Did you know that front lawns were actually invented in 1600s, not 1600s and 1700s in Britain, where people start putting in front lawn because they said, hey, by the way, I don't need this back lawn to gaze my sheeps and cows and stuff. I have enough money, I have earned the status to have the front lawn where I can just show off, right? So brands basically know that really well. It's just small to mid-sized businesses don't apply these techniques and these strategies really effectively. Think about credit card companies. They have platinum clubs, they have supreme clubs. What are those? To make you basically feel exclusive, right? Okay, another amazing example of damn airline industries, guys. Business class versus regular class, you both go get there at the same damn time, but one price is highly inflated, the other price is basically economy price, right? People go for that, right? Why? Because again, is driven by their limited seats, right? And you feel exclusive. Your business can apply this really well in their marketing, in their customer acquisition strategies, right? Okay. So scarcity, exclusivity, if used strategically in your marketing, it can get you massive results. But make sure that you don't create fake scarcity. How many of you basically don't trust retail sales anymore? Right? How many have you basically heard about the Sears sales, JCPenney sales, which are full of crap, right? It was artificially there, right? There was no you go next weekend, it's the same damn shit when they said this, it will be this weekend. Don't do that with your customers. But if you do it properly, like the way Supreme is doing, the way Gucci's of the world is doing. Another example is Harvard, guys, limited seats, limited programs. All over the world, people fight to get in, and it's not one of the cheapest schools, one of the most expensive schools to get in, but you still basically fight for that seat. Why? Because it's exclusive, it's scarce, right? Okay, and whoever gets into Harvard, they feel that the status goes up in the society, right? How your business or your brand can learn from these big brands, right? Okay, and apply it in your business. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to listen to previous episodes, go to rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. Again, I'll repeat that, rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. I'll catch you tomorrow bright and early with another business growth lesson. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.